Hi, this is David again, and this video is going to be on early morning seminary in the Mormon Church. I went to 4 years, and yes, I graduated from early morning seminary after attending for 4 years. In California, where I attended, my parents every morning at 6 a.m. had to have me up and dressed and over to the seminary building at the church, and we used the classroom. We had a seminary teacher. We had an opening prayer and an opening song. It's the ritual of the Mormon Church, always a closing prayer and always a closing song. And then the seminary teacher would get up and indoctrinate us about how the scriptures all fit the Mormon Church, and what scriptures didn't were mistranslated. Jeez, I used to believe this crap, but I was just a kid. I think you start 8th grade, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, maybe 9th grade, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I think 9th grade you start seminary. So in California and in other places, they don't have a seminary building. And in Utah, of course, they have separation of church and state. And how they do that is when a new school is built in Utah, a piece of land adjacent to the school, coincidentally, seems to be used for a Mormon seminary building. Now, is it part of the school grounds? No. Is it adjacent? Yes. Does the sidewalk go from the front door of the seminary building to the front door of the school? Yes. Is there a gate? No. Does it have the same basic brick and work that looks like the school? Yes. Some do, some don't. So anyway, the Mormons don't know boundaries. They don't know what laws to obey. They only obey the law of their prophet. And the rest of our laws are dog shit to them. And they don't care. They don't care. So anyway, seminary is pretty much a required. If you're an active LDS family, your children go to seminary. So every day you wake up and you will have, family prayers. Every day you will go to seminary, and every day you'll come home and you'll go to young men's or young women's or sacrament meeting or scout meeting. You don't have a damn minute to yourself. Now, seminary, it's boys and girls together, and it is all the kids mixed together. It's not like 9th grade, 10th grade, 12th grade classes. Everybody is mixed in an old-fashioned schoolhouse setting. So you sit there for an hour and you learn how every scripture in the world was written by and is interpreted through Mormonism. Now, they also have a a game that you learn. Now, we didn't learn this game. Maybe we had it and I didn't learn, because I was busy looking at the girls. I wasn't busy looking at the Jesus stuff. So maybe we had it, but I just didn't get it. But it's called a scriptural chase. Now, that's not where someone throws the book out the window and everybody chases after it. What it is that the seminary teacher will scream out perhaps some type of a principle, Jesus walking on water. And now it's a race inside the classroom for some child to find a scripture that supports that particular concept or idea. And what this is, especially for the missionaries that are being prepared, see, we're just before we're missionary age, so when you go out on a mission and some dumb convert says to you, well, where did you hear about marrying 14-year-old girls? You know, it's John 15:32, and you can open it up and say, see, there it is. Abraham had, Hagar for his handmaiden. Well, again, it is indoctrination, it's brainwashing, and it is cult behavior to make kids get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and have an hour's worth of religious instruction. Now, again, in California, I didn't get any credit for that, but in Utah, they have special Mormon laws. If you go to seminary in Utah, it counts towards graduation. I don't know if they count it in social studies or religious studies. I don't know. But I do know that the kids that go over to the seminary in the morning and sit there for an hour and then walk across the sidewalk over to the school do get school credit to graduate from junior high and high school in the state of Utah. Now, they have no problem with separation of church and state. That, to them, the church is the state, and vice versa. So my kids, of course, don't go to seminary, so they have to take extra classes to graduate, and that's a small punishment for not having them in a cult. So I just kind of wanted to explain to you what seminary was, and the seminary teachers get paid. They're one of the lower jobs in the church that they actually receive a salary. I was asked to teach seminary in Newberry Park, California. I only lasted 2 weeks because I actually let the students ask questions. You don't do that. You just tell them what they think, what they see, what they hear, their underwear, their food. You just tell them. And I wasn't that kind of a teacher, so I bit the dust. And I think, I don't know, it seems to me it was kind of reasonable. It was like $20 or $25 a day for an hour's worth of work to go over and to teach seminary. So I didn't have a lot of experience at it, and I'm glad. I don't want a lot of experience at facing teenagers, especially today with iPods and computers and headphones and whatever. So anyway, I wanted to introduce to you the separation of church and state to the Mormon Church. Their students are basically exactly next to and adjoining the school grounds. They do allow their students and encourage their students to go to seminary because they don't have to do as much schoolwork. And that's a good deal for the Mormon Church because basically they're preparing future tithe payers. And my kids don't get credit for seminary because they don't go, and I won't let them. But the Mormon kids, they all go to seminary, and they get to go over to the school and put those credits in, and they get to graduate. So if you don't know about the intimacies of Mormonism, you don't know Mormons. You don't know the way they think. You don't know. When they hear this video, they'll go, well, David's right. What's wrong with that? It's not even going to affect them. It doesn't even affect them. I'm going up on 8,000 hits now. I can't believe it. I looked 7,999 times at my own videos, but I think there's one person out there looking. And it used to be, when I first started, the Mormons would punch the spam button, spam, spam, because they didn't agree with what I was saying or how I saw the Mormon Church. Well, YouTube went and did all kinds of investigations, and they came back and said, no, it's not spam, it's not spam. And I think they told the Mormons, knock that crap off. You know, it's just somebody else's opinion. It's not spam. Well, then I've got one or two kind of hanging on Mormons that keep, reading and watching, which they're not supposed to be doing. And then they make little Jesus comments like, I hate to see you suffer. Does this look like a suffering face? It says, I feel so sorry for you leaving the church and you're suffering and you're belonging or you're bemoaning your suffering. This is not a suffering face. When I went to seminary, it was a suffering face. When I went to BYU, it was a suffering face. When I got married in the temple 3 times, it never changed. The movie didn't even change. I had a suffering face. Now, I have fun. I enjoy life. I can sit here, say what I want, do what I want. The Danites come through the door. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care. I'm so old you can kill me. I don't care because I know where I'm going. But the Mormons don't. So it's exciting and it's fun, and please recognize that I do this for my own therapy. I don't care if you look at these tapes. I could care less. What would a guy in New Zealand and Brazil and Chile want to do looking at these stupid tapes? I don't know, but in 2 months we're coming up on 8,000 people, so I'll quit checking my own videos and see how many real people are out there looking. And you that are in Utah, that my demographics are showing is 40% of who's looking at me. I know you're LDS, and I know you're a lurker, and I know that what you hear me saying is true, and you're just going, well, I don't have the balls to do what he did. I'm scared. I'll lose my family, my friends, and my children. And you know what? You're right. You will. But I'm not going to have my name on the Jesus temple. I'm not going to have my name on those starving children in the Philippines that I saw, and the 6,000 that are going to die tonight of starvation while the Mormons fly around in Lear jets, have six-figure incomes, perks up the kazoo. I'm sorry. I have some morality. Not a lot, but I have some. I had to get my name off of that list and say, no, I'm not part of that group there. Now let me finish this video, because last video I left something out. Okay, this is changing subjects. Bipolar people do this. It makes sense to us. To you, you go, what the hell? He's changed his subjects. Okay, Utah, number 2 now in mental illness. More mentally ill people in this state than only one other state, okay? Number 1 in bankruptcy, Utah. Number 3 in child abuse. Number 1 in illegal prescription drug addiction. Number 3 in obesity, eating themselves to death. Number 1 in the lowest amount per capita spent on children's education. Everybody else spends more money. Mormons love children, but they will not pay for their education. And this is the one I forgot here. This is a study by credit card companies that Mormon Utah is the number 1 purchaser of pay-per-view pornography with credit cards. This isn't some evil internet that hates the Mormons. It's the credit card companies that just do a study of how their cards are used in different states, and they've come up and said that the pornography is number 1 in Utah, and they use credit cards to pay for that pornography. So again, if you sexually repress or you do other kinds of repressions to human beings, it's going to squirt out, that's no pun, in some other area of their lives. So if you want to go to a church meeting every day at 6 a.m. and you want to get credit for it and not have to get those credits in school, God, join the Mormon church. Come to Utah, the paradise capital. We're almost number 1 in everything that is negative. Thanks.